Yeah, the lighting is bad, but I figured to make it better, I will just use Books app on my iPad and turn the brightness up. Why I created this channel, um, that was it was not my idea. I talked to a friend of mine, and she was like, "Dude, you really have to have a channel like to tell people what it's like to fight." And to be honest, I think we have enough content. But when I started to look for first fights, be it amateur fights or like first professional fights, it felt like internet still had a place for me to to make some content about it. Not only for like the fighting footage that I will definitely post if I have it, but also like all the growing pains, like what it's like to train, because some of the things that I experienced when I asked my coach, um, he was like, "Oh yeah, I like when I fight, like I have it all the time when I prep for the fight." So for me, it was really good to see that I'm not the only one struggling with some injuries or like some difficulties. And maybe this channel is just my way of telling you that first, if you want to fight, you can fight. Like a year ago, when I was like a year and a half ago, when I was just thinking that, oh, maybe someday I can fight, I started to ask people, like, hey, I'm 35. I was 34 at the time. I was like, do you think I can fight Muay Thai? And they were like, oh, yeah, for sure. And I was like, yeah, but I'm big and heavy. Like, how big in inches and feet? I'm 6 feet 4. I'm 192 in centimeters. Like, I'm a tall guy, and I weighed like a ton. When I came to Bangkok months and a half ago, I was 114 kilos. It's what? It's 250 pounds or something. I mean, it's a lot. I'm definitely like gonna fight in a heavyweight, and maybe you will find it useful, maybe not, who cares. Like, I just want to help those lost souls who need this content. Yeah, so I created it just for this reason, and I'm not going to, at least at this time, I don't think I'm gonna make like even $1 from this channel. So this is mostly me just throwing it out there, just to be hosted on the YouTube. Charges nothing to host content, so why not to create it? I wanted to do just live streams, just for the heck of it. No edits, no nothing, just a stream of consciousness. Because recently I talked to a friend of mine about cars. I sent him audio messages, and I recorded like one segment for him, like my reply and my thoughts about some car topics. And it was like 51, 52 minutes long. And previously, the previous message was like 26 minutes long. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry, it's too long. And he was like, oh, it's okay, just send me more. Like, I'm okay with that, I like it. So that's why I think some people find it's okay to rent like for hours. I want to be short. um, yeah, I want to do these live streams just to be able to push a button, upload the content, and forget about it. um, but today, when I tried to do live streaming from YouTube, it said like, no, you cannot do it from mobile. Okay, I tried to do it like from my laptop, and it said like, no, you cannot do it like from laptop either, because you just entered your phone number and it's gonna take last like 24 hours to verify your account. Even though this YouTube channel was created like 6, 7 years ago, I needed like for testing purposes um, and it was like dormant for a while, so they still needed my phone number just to verify this account. Yeah, so that's why I'm creating it, just to tell you all this stuff I think about and I struggle with. As of right now, um, it's not my day one. Um, I've been training since January 4th. So what, like previous year when COVID started, I trained for merely like week and a half, just for fun because the person who inspired me offered me like, hey, you want to train? So I started, and yeah, I still have a few minutes. I can tell you this story. Um, Last year I went to Koh Samui in Thailand, and a friend of mine was training with the, active fighter, like the guy who actively trains and fights, like the real fighter. And they said like, hey, we're going to stadium just to watch the fight of this guy. You want to come with us? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So we got the front row seats, the best seats available at the stadium, because the ticket sales, um, from every ticket they sell, the fighter gets its cut. And I think those particular tickets were like 25% would go to the fighter. So it was a big money for the fighter. So we decided like to do the best seats. Um, and the fight was amazing. The guy was the highlight of the evening, and it was like six fights during that night. His fight was number 5 for like no reason I can think of. The sixth fight was just like a amateur boxer guy uh, shifting into Muay Thai. So like I think after the fifth fight, after the highlight, the show should end and we have to go home. Like, but no, they decided like to put another guy. And this like highlight fight, the fighter, who is a friend of mine and now he's my coach, um, he knocked out with a head kick. He knocked out a person, and he made it look so effortless, so easy, that I was shocked. I was shocked at like how easy the KO happened, and also right after this KO, he climbed over the ropes and came down to us and bowed just to show his respect. And little did I know that the guy who went into coma, his opponent, and was carried out in stretchers. And I don't know how many hours or days he was in coma. My coach didn't even check, and he wanted to punish this guy because of disrespect. So it was a younger fighter who didn't respect the difference was like almost 10 years. So he didn't like greet properly or like talk a little bit of shit to my friend. And yeah, and my coach decided like to teach him a lesson, and that lesson was like sending him into a coma. So I was so surprised and shocked at what happened. And for me, it was like the first ever fight I watched real time in a stadium. Um, that I next day, first like for the next few hours after the fight, I was still in shock. I couldn't just believe what happened. The next day, my friend was like training with this guy, and I came and asked politely like, can you show me the force, like the strength of the kick that you did? And he was like, yeah, sure, just hold the pads. And the guy was like 55, 60 kilos, something like that. And when he hit, it was like a motorcycle just crashing into me. It was so big, so crazy. So I was again like surprised to see like how such a little guy can pack such a huge force with his kick. And then he asked me like, "Hey, you wanna train with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so. I never trained before. I had like maybe 2, 3 street fights, and this was like one on one in school, and I decided like to try this. Um, what was said at the time, it was like, even if you don't like the Muay Thai um, as a like combat system, you will still appreciate, because all the kicks you gonna do gonna make your abs and your core stronger. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I trained for 2 weeks. Then I went home back to California, and then I realized I wanna know what it feels like to be in the ring fighting. Like, I want that experience in my life, because before that I was just like in an office job. I worked in high tech, um, yeah, for many years. So for me, it was a change of environment and change of everything to do this fight. So I decided that maybe I'll have to take a sabbatical, or maybe even like quit my job. So that's what I did. I quit my job uh, 2 weeks ago. But before that, on January 4th, I went back to my home country, Ukraine, and I found the Muay Thai gym, one of the good ones or the best ones in the city. And I came there and said like, hey, in 9 months, I think I'm gonna have a fight. So what should I do? And the coach said like, hey, okay, like just come to group sessions 3 times a week, and we'll see how it goes. So I started going to group sessions. I enjoyed it. I'll talk more about like what it's like to train in Europe versus Thailand. I went there and I went strength training in the gym 3 times a week. So it was like almost every week I was training either Muay Thai or in the gym, and I bulked up a lot. In the gym, I got more muscles, more strength, and I looked better, but it didn't help with my Muay Thai. Um, I don't think it would help, but yeah, that was just me trying different things. I just wanted to have better conditioning and better fundamentals to start with. So in a group sessions, I had sparred with different opponents, some orthodox, some southpaw. Uh, I practiced some fundamental strikes, and that's pretty much it. Like, I tried different things a little bit. I did it for 7 months, and then I moved to Thailand. So it's 8 months of group sessions, and then I went to Thailand, had to stay in quarantine for 2 weeks, and months ago, I uh, I could I was finally free from this quarantine bullshit. So I went to Koh Samui, and started one-on-one sessions with my coach. And yeah, and that's where we are right now. I'm doing two runs and two one-on-one sessions 6 days a week, and we keep fingers crossed for the stadiums to open someday. But until it happens, I can just train. So I have no other things to do. And Yeah, and because it's time to sleep and I couldn't sleep, I just decided, hey, like, yeah, remember this idea about the YouTube channel? Maybe I should just record the first video. To be honest, I thought it's gonna be like 5 minute max, but yeah, you see how it goes. Um, I'll keep them shorter or more informative. So who cares? Tell me what to think. Yeah, but for now, I'll I'll go to sleep. Yep. Thank you.